You won't know how bad something is until you have experienced the good part of it. And that is a very big truth that we all should know in this life. When it comes to friendships, I have had struggles. We all have had struggles. And I assure you, when you meet the right people, the people that respect you and consider your opinions and tolerate you, and they may not necessarily agree with you, but they understand where you come from, you would really appreciate them a lot more. But here are some struggles that you will definitely face in friendships. They are not avoidable, and you may have faced some of them already. There is hope, I assure you, there is. The very first one, and it is a staple for a lot of us, is talking behind your back when we are literally right in front of you. Why are you talking behind our backs when we are literally right in front of you? If you're that friend that talks behind your friend's back when they're literally right next to you, stop it. Stop that lifestyle. It's not good. It's not nice. When I was in secondary school, that is high school for a lot of people, I had friends that spoke behind my back, and it wasn't nice because you know that saying, a problem shared is a problem half solved. My problems never got half solved when I told my friends. It became half increased because too many people knew about them. And I just didn't feel comfortable with that. And rather than these people coming to meet me to ask, how can I help? It was more of a go to the next person, what she's passing through. So do not be that friend that talks behind your friends' backs. And if you're that friend that your friends are talking behind your back, I have to say that they're not your friends, because real friends don't talk behind other people's backs. It's wrong. It's sad. It's emotionally damaging, I would say, because you expect them not necessarily to be your one and only, but you expect them to have your back, and then they're going around telling your business to other people who aren't doing anything to help the situation. It's not it. If my friends were talking about my business, I won't use the word behind my back. Yeah. If my friends were talking about my business behind my back, I know that it would be to find a solution. It is a struggle that you will definitely face in a couple of friendships. Your friend talking about your business or talking about you behind your back. I think the most painful thing about being spoken about behind without your knowledge is you don't even realize half the time that that is an issue for that friend. For example, if you said something that you didn't think was hurtful but they thought was hurtful, rather than just saying that was hurtful and I didn't like it, they go around telling a lot of people, Asa said this and it was very hurtful, and I don't know if I can be friends with her anymore, but I don't know it was hurtful to you, so how can I be better for you? The issues that a lot of us pass through, and it is a struggle really, because you're trying to be the best version of yourself for yourself and for that person to feel comfortable in knowing you and respecting you and whatnot, and then when they have a problem with you they just can't seem to open their mouth and say to your face. It's painful, I know, but you will be fine. I will say that if your friend talks behind your back, you have to sit down and evaluate if that person is really considered a friend or it's just someone that you know. A very major struggle that you will definitely face in some friendships that you make is lack of mutual respect. And I personally believe that no friendship can survive without mutual respect. It is a very big factor in any good relationship or friendship. Mutual respect. You have to respect me the same way that I respect you. And I don't mean you should bow down to me or curtsy. No, it is the same way I respect you and your opinions and your values is the same way you should respect my opinions and my values, as well as myself. The word no is a very complex sentence for me as a person, and I cannot be friends with anyone who doesn't understand the word no, no. I also don't think I can be friends with someone I have to tell no to more than once or twice at most in a setting or dialogue or a conversation. I personally find it very sad. It's the word I would use. I find it very sad when I tell somebody no and they're like, I know you're joking, just say yes. Did I stutter? I didn't. So, mutual respect, a very important one. You got to have mutual respect for your friends, and when they don't give you the respect that you give to them, it is a very big struggle. You're trying to be forthcoming, you're trying to uphold their values and respect their opinions, and they're not just giving the same to you. I would say that they are not your friends. I will say that they do not respect you as a person. It is a struggle, and in a lot of scenarios, you will have to reduce that person from probably a friend to an acquaintance. I will say it's not a bad call, because mutual respect is the foundation of basically every relationship that we have on this earth, from family to friends to colleagues to strangers. And I mean, even strangers respect strangers. So what more a friend who is supposed to, respect you? Tolerance is one of the most important parts of any friendship. You have to learn to be tolerant. You have to learn to be understanding of the people you're friends with. And when you're understanding of your friend and your friend isn't understanding towards you, it's very painful, and it is something that a lot of us have struggled with, including me. I try very hard to be tolerable to people I know, to strangers, just because I don't believe in the first impression, although it's always nice to make a great first impression, I know, but I personally don't believe in impressions. I believe in third impressions. I could see you the first time and misinterpret what you're doing, but by the third time I should have a better definition of who you are as a person, or of who you are as a person. And when you're friends with someone, they have had many impressions of you, and if by the many impressions of you they still don't have or demonstrate understanding towards your opinions or your values or respect, I don't think they're your friends. Tolerance is a very big part of any friendship. You will not always be happy with your friend, is what I would say. You won't always be happy with them, but you will understand them and you will tolerate them as well as they tolerate you. Tolerance is not a bad word. I think it gets a bad rep for being the minimum, but the minimum is baseline. So at the very least, tolerance, very important. So when your friends don't understand you for who you are, it's very painful. It is a struggle, and we all have been there. I have been there. A lot of us have been there. It is definitely a struggle. I would say that you should tell them how it feels, how you feel about it, how you're reading the situation, and how you're putting them first. You're making them the best versions of themselves, and they're not doing the same for you. They're always pointing out your flaws while you're trying to respect that. I'm not saying that you should tolerate bad behavior. No, I am saying that you can be understanding of your friends, and your friends should also show understanding towards you, and they should accept you for who you are, flaws and all. Because when you accept a person, you take every part of them. You can't take half and leave half. It's a whole package, the whole person. So you have to take them, the good, the bad, the ugly, and that's how friendships work. One of the biggest struggles that you will face in a friendship is distance, and we all know the phrase, distance makes the heart grow fonder. The other half of it, where they don't, it's not part of the quote though, but the other half of the fondness is distance also makes you forgetful, and out of sight is really out of mind. That is very, very true. In most cases, distance does not make the heart grow fonder. Distance makes the heart forget. And I know a lot of you say, God forbid, I will never forget this person. It's not forget them completely. Of course, they'll always be in your memory. It's more of, if you were seeing them 3 times a week, or 3 times in a week, your paths cross, so you could say hello, you could stop for a chat and whatnot. And then you leave that vicinity and you go further. You have to call, and maybe calling isn't part of your schedule because you don't have time to call. And you seeing them at that particular spot was the best time of your day to communicate with them, but now you're further and you're like, tomorrow. I wish I was back there so I could just see him and we could talk. Tomorrow. I'll call tomorrow, I'll text tomorrow. Distance does make the heart forget at times, and it's sad. It's also a struggle. It's very painful when a very good friend goes far away, or a very good friend leaves for better lives. And I want to simply point out that that's thing that they do in movies where um a character is leaving or is supposed to leave for like a better opportunity or something, and she goes, I don't want to leave, what of my friend, or what will my friend think? Or a character is meant to leave somewhere and then her friend is convincing her to stay for the less better option just because her friend is there. I just want to point out how very dyslexic that scene is, because your friends should be happy for you when better opportunities come your way, when you're moving to higher ground. My friends are happy for me when things go in a better direction for me. I'm happy for my friends when they get into schools I never dreamed of them going, or into places that I never thought that we would get to one day. If your friends are telling you you can't leave, what about us? Leave them. Leave them. It's something that baffles me really when I'm watching a movie and the lead's like, I can't leave. Haley's here, Justin's here. What am I going to do over there? Haley and Justin, you should be throwing her out the door. Throw her out the door. Your friends should be your motivation. They should be your biggest cheerleaders for every good thing that comes your way. So if your friends are telling you, don't go, what about us? Watch them. They're fishy people. Okay, distance is a struggle. It really is. It's really one of those things that everybody struggles with friendships. When my friends and I left school, because we met in school and we were friends in school, so we saw each other a lot because we were in the same department. And when we left school, we all went back to our separate houses and we couldn't see each other a lot as we used to. The distance was very difficult. It still is to a certain degree. It's better now though. We've learned to adjust to it and make do with it, but it is still quite difficult. But I am very happy for them in the places that they are. I am so glad that they are thriving where they are. I do not want them to leave where they are thriving to come and live with me in my house. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. I want them there. I want them achieving and thriving and building the dreams that they have. Am I sad that I can see them every day? Yes, I am. And I think I always will be. But that is fine because they're happy too. And they are sad too that they can't see me every day. So we're all sad together and we're all happy together for the things that we're doing. So I repeat it to you, if your friends are telling you, don't go, what about me? Run, my brethren, run out of that door, girl, run for your dear life. Your friends should be happy, they should be pushing you out of the door, they should be excited for your big wins and your small wins. That's what friendship is. So yeah, distance is a struggle and it doesn't get easier, but you'll be fine, I assure you. You will. I want to end this episode by saying you are more than enough of a person and anybody would be lucky to have you as a friend. Anybody in the world, really. I would be lucky to have you as a friend if you were my friend. So yeah, you are more than enough of a person. And yeah, there are struggles in friendships. It shouldn't stop you from making friends though. Don't say the problems are too much. We all need people. It was a very hard lesson to learn. We all need people. We do. They make the world brighter and the sky bluer and the grass greener. And this is the very last episode of the Learn series. I do hope you've learned a thing or two, from finance to communication to friendships. It was very nice. And I will see you next week on the Tiny Chair Talk. Bye-bye.